He rose from the streets of the South Bronx to the most powerful rooms in Washington, D.C. A soldier, a strategist, a statesman, Colin Powell was a man who broke barriers and rewrote history. The first African-American Secretary of State, a four-star general, a trusted voice in moments of war, peace, and crisis. But behind the uniform and beyond the headlines was a story rarely told, of family, sacrifice, quiet regrets, and a surprising twist involving his abandoned home. In this video, we uncover the full legacy of Colin Powell, from his humble beginnings to the final days of a life spent in service. Colin Powell left behind more than just a title. He left a legacy worth $60 million. Over a remarkable 35-year military career, he rose to the highest ranks of the U.S. Army, earning a pension estimated at $200,000 a year. His leadership took him from combat zones to the Situation Room, influencing history at every step. After retiring from the military in 1993, Powell transitioned into a highly lucrative public speaking career. His commanding presence and experience made him one of the most sought-after speakers in America, often earning between $64,000 to $100,000 per appearance. In the year 2000 alone, he gave 109 speeches and brought in $7 million. His voice was powerful and his words were valuable. Powell was also a best-selling author. His memoir, My American Journey, secured him a $6 million advance and generated ongoing income through royalties. His follow-up book, It Worked for Me, In Life and Leadership, further solidified his place not only as a leader, but as a thinker. His financial success extended into the corporate world. Powell joined the prestigious venture capital firm Kleiner Perkins and served on the boards of major companies like Salesforce and Bloom Energy. By 2018, his stock holdings from these two companies alone were estimated at $24 million. His post-government success was not only about wealth, it was about continuing to shape the future through influence and innovation. Colin Luther Powell was born on April 5, 1937, in Harlem, New York. His parents, Maud and Luther Powell, were Jamaican immigrants with African and Scottish ancestry. Raised in the South Bronx, Powell's early life was defined by modesty and determination. He attended Morris High School and worked at a local furniture store while navigating the realities of working-class life. In 1958, Powell graduated with a degree in geology from the City College of New York. It was here that he joined the Reserve Officers Training Corps, ROTC, a decision that would define the trajectory of his life. Upon graduation, he was commissioned as a second lieutenant and assigned to West Germany. He later served 2 tours in Vietnam, first as a military advisor and later as Assistant Chief of Staff for Operations. During his second tour in 1968, Powell survived a helicopter crash and heroically rescued 3 comrades from the wreckage, earning the Soldier's Medal for Valor. After returning to the U.S., he pursued further education, completing an MBA at George Washington University in 1971. Powell's rise in Washington began in the early 1970s when he became a White House fellow under President Nixon. His skill, professionalism, and calm under pressure earned him rapid promotions. He held key positions, including Senior Military Assistant to Secretary of Defense Caspar Weinberger and Deputy National Security Advisor. In 1987, after the Iran-Contra scandal, President Ronald Reagan appointed Powell as National Security Advisor. At the time, he was one of the most prominent African-American officials in the U.S. government. Under President George H.W. Bush, Powell became a 4-star general and was appointed chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the youngest and the first African-American to ever hold the post. During his tenure from 1989 to 1993, Powell oversaw major U.S. military operations, including the invasion of Panama and Operation Desert Storm in Iraq. He became a household name and a symbol of military precision and strategy. However, under President Clinton, Powell began to feel disconnected due to policy disagreements, which eventually led to his resignation. After retiring from active service, Powell focused on public service and youth development. In 1997, he founded America's Promise Alliance, a nationwide initiative supporting children through education, mentoring, and community service. That same year, he established the Colin Powell Center for Leadership and Service at the City College of New York, aimed at empowering underrepresented students. In 2001, Powell once again made history by becoming the first African-American Secretary of State under President George W. Bush. After the September 11th attacks, Powell played a crucial role in shaping America's foreign policy response. He led efforts to build international coalitions for the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. Perhaps the most controversial moment of Powell's career came in 2003 when he presented evidence to the United Nations alleging that Iraq possessed weapons of mass destruction. The intelligence turned out to be flawed, and Powell would later express deep regret for his role in making the case for war. Despite this, he remained focused on rebuilding efforts and promoting diplomacy until he stepped down in 2004. Powell remained active after retirement, both in business and public life. He became a partner at Kleiner Perkins and joined motivational speaking tours, where he continued to inspire audiences across the country. He also voiced criticism of some Bush administration policies, reflecting his independent approach to governance and leadership. In October 2022, a year after Powell's passing, his former residence in McLean, Virginia, was sold quietly for just under $3 million. The colonial-style estate, located in one of Northern Virginia's most exclusive neighborhoods, reflected Powell's preference for quiet elegance over flashy displays of wealth. Spanning nearly 6,000 square feet, the home sat on an acre of land and featured 6 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, an indoor hot tub, and a sauna. Though elegant, the home appeared to have been vacant for some time. It's unclear when Powell and his wife Alma last lived there, but real estate observers noted signs of disuse. With soaring 18-foot ceilings, a luxurious master suite on the main floor, and hardwood flooring throughout, the home balanced grandeur with comfort. It was a retreat, peaceful, private, and dignified, just like the man who once lived there. Philanthropy was a cornerstone of Powell's legacy. America's Promise Alliance brought together over 400 organizations focused on improving the lives of children through education, healthcare, and civic involvement. One of its most ambitious programs, Grad Nation, aimed to raise the national high school graduation rate to 90% by 2020. He also founded the Colin Powell School for Civic and Global Leadership at CCNY, nurturing a new generation of changemakers from underrepresented communities. Powell's support extended to global causes too. He backed health and education initiatives across Africa and worked on improving food security in underdeveloped regions. A practicing Anglican, Powell's faith was quiet but enduring. He married Alma Johnson on August 25, 1962, and the couple shared a devoted partnership for over 60 years until Alma's passing in 2024. They raised 3 children. Their son Michael served as chairman of the Federal Communications Commission from 2001 to 2005, while daughter Linda became an accomplished actress. Their third child, Anne-Marie, pursued her passions out of the public spotlight. In 2013, Powell's personal life drew rare public attention when hacked emails between him and Romanian diplomat Corina Crețu were leaked. Although the media speculated on the nature of their relationship, Powell clarified the emails were private but not romantic. The controversy was brief and didn't shake the deep respect he had earned over the decades. In his final years, Powell faced severe health issues, including multiple myeloma, a blood cancer that compromised his immune system, and early-stage Parkinson's disease. Despite being fully vaccinated against COVID-19, he succumbed to complications from the virus on October 18, 2021, at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center. He was 84 years old. Tributes poured in from across the political spectrum. President Joe Biden called him a patriot of unmatched honor and dignity. 4 of the 5 living former presidents issued statements praising his legacy. Former President Donald Trump, however, offered a controversial take, acknowledging Powell's death while criticizing his political choices. Powell's funeral was held at the Washington National Cathedral, attended by top leaders including President Biden, former Presidents Barack Obama and George W. Bush, and First Ladies Michelle Obama, Laura Bush, and Hillary Clinton. He was laid to rest at Arlington National Cemetery, a place reserved for the nation's most honored heroes. His grave, Section 60, grave 11,917, marks the resting place of a soldier, a statesman, and a servant to the people. Colin Powell received countless awards for his service, among them the Presidential Medal of Freedom, twice, the Congressional Gold Medal, and honorary degrees from dozens of universities. Yet beyond the medals and recognition, his legacy was defined by his integrity, humility, and tireless commitment to justice. Powell's story is not just about rank or office. It's about rising above expectations, challenging limitations, and using every platform for meaningful impact. He once said, "Leadership is solving problems." The day soldiers stop bringing you their problems is the day you have stopped leading them. Until his final days, Powell remained a leader, steadfast, thoughtful, and profoundly human. If you found this exploration of Colin Powell's extraordinary life insightful, please like, share, and subscribe. Leave your thoughts in the comments. What part of his story inspired you most? Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.